This one's from Twitter.
All right.
Statboy's already started, so we're
tweeting about the tweeter now.
Because he wants to go back to sleep.
All right,
take another 15-20 minute nap.
That's all right.
What's going on, everybody? This is Dad's on Wrestling. You know who we are, and if you don't, why are you watching?
Unless it's just a gun to your head like we talked about last week.
That's right.
Then it's okay.
Which we still thank you for watching if you don't have any idea who we are, but why are you watching? Seriously.
That's right.
It's like bandwagon fans.
That's right.
Why do you cheer if you know nothing about the team?
That's right. Or why do you care about the sport if you don't watch in the first place, Tyler?
You called him out.
I sure did.
Damn, son.
At Tyler Fleming. However you want to say his name. Whatever. I don't know. Talking about...
Right.
Yeah. When did the Lakers make the playoffs this year, Tyler? I'll wait. Go ahead.
So today we're going
to this is May 19th we're taping this, so basketball's long over.
That's right.
You know, it's okay, you know.
Well, no, the playoffs are still going on. Just the Lakers season was over in like December.
Yeah. Lakers was over when it started. Kobe got hurt again.
That's right. We're here to talk today about the top 10 managers of all time.
That's
and
right.
Now you did the service and allowed me to go first last time. I want to hear who you've got, because your list is probably going to completely obliterate my list.
Very likely, but this comes from Rex Christopherson at Rexo1991 on Twitter, as we mentioned at the top of the show. Twitter. All right, now.
Barbecue sauce.
Part of it is in order because I sat here and I looked at it and I was moving people around and kind of like a ridiculous freaking magic game or something that's kind of moving shit around as I go here.
Like Jenga and shit.
Jenga, seriously.
Putting the pieces in the puzzle, you know where you got to do it without making it fall.
I made it fall. Fuck yeah. All right. Number 10 is Arnold Skaaland. However you want to say his name. And he's only on here because he managed before 1984 the two greatest WWF champions of all time, Bruno Sammartino and Bob Backlund. The Golden Boy, Arnie Skaaland was the guy that was the guiding light behind Bruno and Bob Backlund, and he really set a new standard for wrestling managers back in the 60s and the 70s.
Right, and for those of you that don't know, that's usually who's seen as date is to the Hall of Fame.
That's right,
widow.
Betty Skaaland, yep. Every year she's there without fail, and it was really cool. We watched the 2008 ceremony, I believe it was, with Ric Flair, and Ric Flair just looking at Betty and just telling him how great Arnie was and how great she was. It was just freaking awesome. It was really cool.
I think every year since the Hall of Fame was 6, because in 05 he looked like a freaking wannabe thug and shit.
Yeah,
with that tacky suit, looked like it came from the Michael Hayes / Daryl Evans collection.
That's right. Hey, we will not disgrace Daryl Evans' suit choices.
And his spinner chain that he had to have.
Yeah, chain gang commander shit. Like, oh my god, John.
Hall of Fame. No wonder fans come dressing tacky. They're trying to be like Cena.
Take after your damn leg. Seriously, I wore a suit both times. Nice 3-piece suit both times. Number 9. A surprising choice to some, I'm sure, but Ted DiBiase. The $1 Million Man. The leader of the $1 Million Corporation. The original manager of the Ringmaster, who of course became Stone Cold Steve Austin. The original mouthpiece and manager of the NWO before Bischoff went, I can do that. Great manager, great talker. Nobody could talk better than the $1 Million Man back when he was a manager. He was a great mouthpiece for IRS, for Bam Bam, for Tatanka, for Steve Austin. Before they realized Steve Austin could talk for his own damn self. The 1, 2, 3.
They didn't watch WCW and fucking ECW.
Yeah, Hollywood Blondes, folks. Hello. The 1, 2, 3 Kid when he turned heel. Psycho Sid when he joined the corporation. You know, all those guys. Number 8. She only had officially 2 clients in the history of the WWF, but she was great. Miss Elizabeth. The manager of the Mega Powers. One-time manager of Dusty Rhodes and the 3 Sapphire. And then, of course, her time with WCW and the NWO, with Randy and with Hulk and with Bischoff. And, you know, she was very much like Madonna in that she evolved. She managed the Horsemen for a while in the WCW. You know, Miss Elizabeth was a true classic in every sense of the word. And she was classy.
I agree.
Granted, she got a little dirty there in WCW, but not overly so. She was never dirty. She was just more impactful and provocative. Yes, thank you. Number 7, the Hollywood fashion plate. Classy Freddie Blassie. Original manager of Hulk Hogan. That says volumes right there. Manager of the Iron Sheik when he was the WWF champion. Manager of Sheik and Volkoff, they were tag team champions. You know, fought against Muhammad Ali actually managed Muhammad Ali in his match with Antonio Inoki. You know, Freddie was a classic. Freddie made Olympic wrestling out here at the
Olympic Auditorium.
Grand Olympic. Yeah, you know, Freddie made that building. Him and Roddy Piper and Carlos Sr., you know, those guys, through the course of 50 years or so, made that building and made wrestling popular out here. Freddie was friends with Regis Philbin, for Christ's sakes. That's how big he was. Regis would have him on the show all the time just because he was Freddie Blassie. Regis was at Freddie's Hall of Fame induction in '94, I want to say it was. Number 6. Sensational
Freddie was ringside, technically, I guess you could say, managing the Dudleys in his final appearance.
Exactly. There you go. He was one that motivated the troops against the Alliance and invasion. Yeah. Stood up out of his wheelchair. I was like, wow.
I almost cried.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I think I did. Oh, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Number 6. Sensational Sherry. Yes, she managed in the AWA as well, but she managed Macho King Randy Savage, The $1 Million Man, and the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. And then managed...
It's a hell of a holy trinity
right there, exactly. And then she managed Ric Flair in WCW, and then Harlem Heat in WCW.
Sister Sherry.
Sister Sherry, that's right.
Just look up that infamous Booker T promo, and you will see her there in the background.
With eyes like this big, like he just said, what? Shit just got real. Poor Sherry. That's alright. Number 5, Jimmy Hart. This is more of a personal one for me, Jimmy being on my list, because he's a buddy. But, you know, Jimmy had the first family. He had the Hart family. You know, he had all those guys that he had. You know, the Hart Foundation, the Rougeaus, Dangerous Danny Davis, the wrestling referee. You know, Earthquake, Typhoon, Dino Bravo, Honky Tonk Man, Hulk Hogan, Brutus Beefcake. You know, so many. The list goes on and on in both major companies and in Memphis. My God, Andy Kaufman. You know, just great. Number 4. James J. Dillon. JJ managed, at the end of the day, one full-time group of clients, but it was the symbol of excellence that he carried with him. The Horseman. Originally with Tully Blanchard, then branched out to the Horseman, and never really did anything after that. He was the WCW commissioner for a while, but that wasn't part of his managing career. And JJ was the ultimate bad guy wrestling manager. Number 3 is a tie between personalities, not between people. Paul Bearer, Percy Pringle. Percy, again, another personal favorite. Always will be. You know, but the manager of The Undertaker, Mankind, Vader, Kane, Shawn Ricker out here.
Had to throw that one in.
Had to throw in Shawn Ricker. Rick Rude in World Class, you know. Rick Rude when he was the World Class World Champion. Rick Rude, we talked about World Champions last week. Rick Rude never got that, but World Class he did with Percy at his side. Percy managed Stunning Steve Austin before he reached superstar status in WCW. Percy's one of the best ever. May God rest his soul. Number 2, Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Wow.
Not number 1.
I expected that to be number 1.
He was up until recently.
Okay.
I'll tell you why later. But Bobby, again, my favorite person to interview besides Rob in the history of my interviews, because not only would he be a great manager on the road and a great announcer on the road, but he was a great storyteller, and he could talk a streak like nobody could.
Okay.
He was one of the best talkers in the business, if not the best talker. Speaking of streaks, number 1, the man whose client, Brock Lesnar, conquered the streak! Paul Heyman. Paulie Dangerously, if you want to call him. Yes, he's got Brock. We all know that. CM Punk and his 490,000 that reign as WWE champion. You know, Stunning Steve Austin, Ravishing Rick Rude, Arn Anderson, Larry Zbyszko, Beautiful Bobby, Medusa. You know, The Undertaker before he was The Undertaker. You know, the Skyscrapers briefly.
Big Show.
Big
Kurt
Show,
Angle,
Kurt
Team
Angle.
Angle.
Team Angle. Jimmy Snuka for a while in
It's like
ECW.
Paul Heyman took the precautions he needed to make sure that once Brock Lesnar lost the title to Big Show, he stayed with the champion.
And same with through Kurt. He was the manager of 3 straight champions. Only Sonny could ever claim that.
And that was only in tag team,
Yep.
not WWF champion.
The WWE Championship, the championship, and Heyman did it. Now, notice, I said Sonny just now. She was not on my top 10. Definitely honorable mention.
Okay.
Sonny will always and forever be my girl, your savior. But she was like number 10B.
Yeah.
She was like right there. But like I couldn't put her above Arnie because Arnie's the man. So I couldn't do it.
Well, once again, great minds think alike.
Okay.
Although we didn't think as alike as I thought we would.
Okay.
Familiar cramp, but we only share 4
That's right.
out of 10.
Okay.
And hearing your list, I kick myself in the ass a little bit for not thinking of
Somebody.
Percy, Jimmy.
Wow.
They're not on my list.
Wow.
But I think
Especially Percy, dude. Wow.
But I think the people I have on here make up for it.
Okay.
And maybe they were intentional leave-offs by you. Maybe they were oversights on your behalf. And you'll kick yourself when you hear my people.
Very likely.
Number 10, Dirty Dutch Mantel / Zeb Coulter.
He would be my top 10, but he's definitely honorable mention, yeah.
You know, I mean, I haven't seen too much vintage tape of him as Dirty Dutch, but what he did with the Real Americans definitely placed him at number 10 for me, because I didn't want to like the Real Americans when they started, with the exception of, you know, cheering our boy Claudio. But the minute he picked up the microphone and started giving those promos with swagger, you could not help but believe every word he said. And a lot of what Zeb says are my own personal feelings.
Oh, mine too. I mean, no bones how I feel about the state of this country. Now, before you go on, I did not mention Cesaro in Paul Heyman's clients, and that's because Cesaro hasn't really impacted yet. Yeah. As of May 19th, 2014.
Yeah.
He could be world champion by now, for all we know.
I hope you watched See No Evil today.
That's right.
Today is National See No Evil Day.
That's right. Today's Cane Day.
Number 9, the exact same spot on your list, Ted DiBiase.
I'm surprised you put DiBiase, considering how late you came into the game.
I thought the exact same thing you did. Especially when it came down to the Ringmaster and the NWO.
Okay.
That's why he's so low on the
By the
list.
time you started watching, he was managing the Steiners, I think, in WCW. I think he was even gone from that by then.
But that's what videotape's for.
That's right.
Number 8, another one we share. Not the same spot, though. Classy Freddie Blassie.
Close to the same spot, yeah.
You know, what can you say about Classy Freddie Blassie that we didn't already say when you talked to Blue Streak earlier?
Blue Streak, I like that. That's a great phrase. Talk a Blue Streak. That's a great phrase for wrestling.
Number 7, James E. Cornette.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe a bit of a dick outside of the ring.
Well, yeah,
but who can argue his success?
It's hard to. Figure you got Yokozuna, Owen Hart, British Bulldog, Vader, the Heavenly Bodies, the Midnight Express, both for many versions. You know, Ring of Honor Commissioner time, TNA Director of Authority time. Cornette was a great talker, yeah, and he belongs on my honorable mention list, but again, not quite making the top 10.
Number 6, Captain Lou Albano.
I wrestled with Lou. I really did, but I think about Bobby Heenan's speech in the Hall of Fame and talking about the great managers and Lou Albano, who refused to be fired. You know, like Lou was a great manager. Is he in the top 10 all time in the history of managers?
Look at the role he played in the Rock and Wrestling Connection.
I know.
He was a huge part of that.
I know. But if you're looking at strictly accomplishments in wrestling, yes, he's got however many tag team champions in a row, or whatever it was. He managed Ivan Koloff against Bruno Sammartino when Bruno lost the title. But I think overall impact compared to the other 10, he's on an honorable mention list, but not the full list for me.
Okay. Number 5, Precious Paul Ellering.
I thought about Paul too. I did. But again, other than the Road Warriors, what did he do?
Well, JJ, aside from the Horsemen, what did he do?
But it's the Horseman. It's different.
Trust me, I give you JJ. JJ's on my list.
Okay.
But if you're going to use that argument for Paul, you can use that argument for JJ.
All right, that's true.
And, you know, yeah, it was the Horsemen, but it's also the fucking Road Warriors. You know?
yeah.
How many times were the Road Warriors across the ring from the Horsemen? How many times did Paul Ellering get into the matches with the Road Warriors, just like JJ got into matches with the Horsemen?
War Games, they were both involved, yep.
Ellering came when they came as the LOD over to WWF for their run.
Not at first.
But he was there still.
He was there at the tail end of their first run. And he never managed in the championship. That's part of my argument.
Okay.
They didn't bring him over. He was stuck in Jim Crockett in AWA or wherever he was, and the Road Warriors went on and did things without him.
Number 4, your 10B, Sunny.
Yeah.
The only female on my list.
Okay.
And I really wrestled with that. You
Right.
know, I almost made it completely woman-free because I think more valet than manager, which I guess, you know, valet is just a word for female manager, but it's like...
Sunny was a manager. She managed her clients' careers on TV.
I thought about Liz. I thought about, you know, Sherry. I thought about even throwing Lita in there.
Oh, there you go.
But
Lita was more of a wrestler who happened to be at ringside.
Sunny, I had to give due to my
I
Sunny.
know you did.
Number 3, the man whose client, Brock Lesnar, conquered the streak, Paul Heyman.
There you go. And again, you know, with Paul, how do you argue with him being in the top 3? You know, he's one of the best ever. He's my number 1. So.
But I put him behind number 2, J.J. Dillon.
Okay.
And number 1, Bobby Heenan.
Wow, you thought it'd be reversed. I thought it'd be reversed, but you know, I really thought about Paul for a while. I was like, you know what, Heyman deserves that spot on my list.
I almost would have argued JJ as number 1 if Bobby hadn't had such a career of managing people.
Over the course of time, right, yeah.
You
If
know,
you're
at the end of the day,
JJ
JJ was a niche manager.
Right.
Just like Paul Ellering was a niche manager. They
Right.
didn't really have a whole lot outside of that. So how can you justify that as number 1?
Right.
Bobby, on the other hand,
Manage everybody, yeah, exactly.
had his own family.
Yep. Absolutely. Thank you very much to Rex Christopherson at Rex791. Follow this guy. He's a great follower of the shows. Definitely need to include him on your follow list on Twitter. Tweeter. Gotta follow that guy. All right. That's it for the Dads of Wrestling this week. I am Jeff Meacham.
Roadhouse. I am the Renegade Wrestling JJ Williams.
Go watch Roadhouse tonight.
That's right, with Terry Funk.
That's right. And then one guy who's dead. All right.
Which one?
It's true in that movie.
We'll see you next week.
One guy has to go see his own movie. See y'all next time.